Elvis Presley was, to me, one of the most incredible icons in music. What he embodied and what he represented and what he effectively brought to the music scene was impeccable, right? He was worshipped. People thought he was amazing, and the ladies loved Elvis Presley. He was handsome, dude. He was a hot dude. Now, his life is amazing, and not just necessarily for the good, right? Elvis had a very negative life towards the end, extremely negative. We've all seen the movie, but did you know how Elvis Presley actually died? Towards the tail end of Elvis's career, he was booked and forced into a Las Vegas residency where he would perform up to 250 to 300 times per year. Think about that. He would perform almost every single night. Now that, ladies and gentlemen, is very taxing. That is extremely taxing on the human body. And Elvis was a fit guy, right? In the beginning, he was fit. He had those sexy ass hips that the ladies liked him for. But towards the end, he got fat. Elvis got really fat. Look at some of these photos. Now, where this stemmed from was the fact that Elvis just grew tired. He grew tired and he had lived this incredible high, and the enigma of Elvis Presley had started to fade, right? He was still selling out these shows most nights, but he never went on tour. Did you know that? Did you know that Elvis Presley never once toured outside of the United States? I don't think he even left the United States once. Now that is insane. For the biggest artist in the world at that time, for like a decade, he did not leave his country. So, towards the tail end of his life, he got very, very fat. Historically, his favorite sandwich was this enormous loaf of bread that had half a jar of peanut butter on the one side, half a jar of jelly on the other side, cut up bananas, and about a kilogram of bacon. It's like, dude, no wonder you're gonna get fat. So towards the end of his life, he got super addicted to painkillers as well. His physician in 1977, the year that he passed away, his physician was found to have prescribed him 10,000 plus doses of different sedatives, including codeine, oxycodone, morphine, what have you. Now, fans were starting to notice this as well. Elvis was just not getting the love that he used to. And people were vocal about this. People were complaining about how his performances were shit and he looked terrible and he was only on stage for a very short amount of time. But Elvis seemed to just not care. He had made his money. He had sold all these records. A large portion of it went to his management, but he seemed to just not care. Now, on the morning of August 16th, 1977, his fiancée at that time, a girl by the name of Ginger, she found him on the toilet with his pants off, slumped over at his Graceland mansion. He was unresponsive. They called medical personnel, and he was pronounced dead. Elvis Presley had died from a heart attack at the age of 42. That's young, man. That is so young for this beautiful human being that brought so much to so many to pass away in what's considered to be quite a, I'd say, embarrassing way to go. It's heartbreaking. The next few days were pretty darn insane as well. So a ton of media attention was obviously given to this, right? Elvis just died. That's enormous. His cousin, get this, his cousin was approached by a unnamed media source or an unnamed magazine and offered $18,000 to take a photo of Elvis Presley's corpse, which he took. He took a photo of Elvis Presley's body, of his corpse, and he sold it to the newspapers on the same day that he died. How heartbreaking and insane is that? Poor dude. So his funeral was obviously arranged. A ton of people showed up. 80,000 people to be exact. They all lined up outside of the facility that Elvis was getting buried in, and then out of nowhere, a car plows through a variety of different spectators, killing 2 women at Elvis Presley's funeral. Heartbreaking in its own right, right? Elvis was then eventually laid to rest next to his mum. And a few days later, somebody tried to steal this man's corpse, bro. What in heaven's name is that? That's how deep the obsession with Elvis went. As you can imagine, they had to exhume his body because there was just way too much going on. It was picked up, it was transported, and it was reburied at Graceland, where it remains today. Elvis did an incredible amount for music, and from a influential perspective, he was up there. He was up there with the best of them. Grateful to have had him, but a shame that he was taken away so early.